Good YouTube, hope you guys are doing well. I'm JaviBero, and today I want to talk about JJK, but not like the whole entire show. More specifically, I want to talk about Megami, and not even Megami, just like his 10 shadows, curse technique or whatever it is. I want to talk about that, but more specifically, I want to talk about Mahoraga, as far as the shadows. I'm trying to make this video quick because it's 11:45 right now, so that means I have 15 minutes to record and upload this video before the day ends. I should have done this earlier, but I was tired. That's why sorry if I look tired, but yeah. So I wanted to talk about if Mahoraga is like human. Now I want to preface this entire video by saying I don't read the manga, not yet at least, and when I watch the show, usually when I watch shows, it's like as I'm doing something, so I'm not able to pay that much attention to like the power systems and stuff. I just like watch it, and I know some of the stuff, not everything, but just take what I say with a grain of salt. But it's just my theory with the little knowledge I know. Also, if you feel like I got quieter, I did, because my grandma just got here, so yeah. Okay, so you know how Megami's like 10 shadow beasts is like, they all resemble animals, right? He has like the dogs, the bunnies, the elephant, I forget what the other ones are. Anyways, like frog, I think, whatever. But like they're animals, right? Like they're resemble animals. They are animals, right? But they're his shadow beasts. But then there's Mahoraga, who's different. He's literally not. He's not like any animal that we know. However, I think that he is an animal. He's human, and obviously I don't mean he's like human, like everybody else, but he's a shadow beast of human. He represents humans. And not only does he resemble humans like physically, like he's bipedal, 2 arms. He doesn't have eyes, he has like wings, but you know what I'm saying, like he's humanoid. So when I say like he resembles humans, he like represents humans, I mean that he's the shadow beast of a human. And I have a couple points for this. Is his main power, which is adaptability. Who's known for adaptability? Humans. Humans, like their biggest trait and like strength is their adaptability. Like besides their intellect, I say they like I'm not human. Besides our intellect, our adaptability is what makes us so advanced as far as animals go, as far as being a being goes, right? Like if you put a fish, a freshwater fish in salt water, it's gonna die. It can't adapt to that because it's not made for that. If you put a polar bear in the forest, it's not gonna adapt to that. If you put a tiger in the water, in the ocean, it's not gonna adapt to that, right? But for humans, you can put us anywhere that isn't gonna just instantly kill us, and we can adapt, right? And even if it's something so dangerous that it could kill us, we still might be able to adapt. Like we can go to Antarctica and figure out how to live there. We can go to the jungle in the Amazon and figure out how to live there. We can go to nothing but desert and sand and figure out how to live there. We adapt. And Mahoraga's main power is his adaptability to anything. Like I think that's his main power, his adaptability to anything. He adapts to the people that he's fighting and everything else. So that is why I think, well, that's not the only reason, but that's one of the reasons why I think, because his adaptability corresponds to that of a human. It relates to that of a human. And we also look at Megami and his 10 shadow beasts. They all resemble animals except for Mahoraga. Mahoraga is just there. He's just there. And when he summons them, he's like divine. With this treasure I summon, or like calling. In the dub, it's with this treasure I summon. In the sub, I think it's like calling. He like summons him, or he's like calling him, right? But what I mean is, Mahoraga isn't an animal like the rest of them. However, he is, or at least I think he is. He isn't an outlier, right? He's not. Besides the fact that he's not like the rest of the animals, he's not a completely random being. He resembles an animal that exists, which is humans. That's where his adaptability comes from. That's where it, sorry if I'm leaning forward. Now wait, there's more. I know that the divinity part could also be like, he could be like an angel, because he has like a halo thing or whatever, not a halo, but you know, his wheel, and then which kind of resembles a halo, and then he has wings for eyes, which could also resemble an angel. And he has that thing, I don't know, like a tail thing or whatever, but like he can resemble an angel, but I don't think that's what he is. I know most depictions of angels are like humanoid or like sometimes babies, but I don't think like real angels like that. There are biblically, there are humanoid angels, like archangels or archangels, like Archangel Michael and Gabriel, all them, right? And then there's the other angels like cherubim, seraphim, whatever the rest are, but you know what I'm talking about, right? And there's like angels that are literally just wings or just eyes, but I don't think that's what Mahoraga is, because I don't think that would relate to the entire like 10 shadow beasts or whatever. I don't think that would relate to it. It'd be even more of an outlier. But because they're all animals, including Mahoraga, who is also an animal of the earth, which is a human, I think that more accurately, as far as in my theory, he's human. And the reason that he is divine, and the reason his divinity is there, why I think that he's like has a connotation of divinity, is in relation to my theory of him being a human, is because humans are made in the made in the image of God. Because humans are made in the image of God, that's where his divinity comes from. As far as being in the 10 shadow beasts, he's a divine figure of humans. He's the essence of humanity. And going further into this point of him being divinity and a representation of humans, as far as the 10 shadow beasts, Sukuna, his battle with Sukuna, obviously he adapted and everything, as I stated earlier about his adaptability being relating to humans. Not only that, but during the fight with Sukuna, he was corrupted. Sukuna corrupted him. He made him learn, a divine figure learn how to deceive. Because when, I don't know if you remember, but Sukuna, you know, he did his little fake out, then right, like that's the cool thing that everybody saw. But I think that showed Sukuna right after that, because again, remember, Mahoraga adapts. He has to adapt to Sukuna being deceitful. He has to adapt to that fake out. So during the fight, Mahoraga learns to deceive. So he learns to deceive, and he's corrupted by Sukuna. And this goes further into my point of how Sukuna corrupting Mahoraga, who is supposed to be a divine figure, it relates to humans as Satan corrupted Adam and Eve. And the reason I talk about like all this in like a biblical standpoint is because like Mahoraga is supposed to be like a divine figure, and I'm relating that to him being a representation of humans in the 10 shadow beasts that Megami has. So Sukuna corrupted a divine figure, just as how humans were made in the image of God, living with God, and were corrupted by the devil. They were corrupted, and so therefore they had to adapt to their punishment of corruption. So when Mahoraga is summoned, I think he like, does he like kill his person that summons him, or he kills somebody? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not too like knowledgeable, but like what I'm saying is, he was corrupted. A divine figure was corrupted by an incredibly evil figure, which is Sukuna, who is just pure evil. But all of this is just to say that I think within the 10 shadow beasts, Mahoraga isn't as different from the rest as we think, because he is an animal within this scope of earthly beings. He is an animal. He's different from the rest, while also being similar in the sense that He's a representation of an animal that exists here. The only difference is the animal that he represents is humans, who are much different from every other animal. Humans are different, but we're still here on this earth with these other animals. So he's different from the rest, but he's not out of place. He's where he is categorized in the 10 shadow beasts as a human. We got dogs, frogs, elephants, bunnies, wolves, whatever you want to call them, and then we have humans. That's I mean, that's really just my theory. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am. He probably is just an angel. He probably just represents an angel, whatever. But I just think that's my theory as far as being unknowledgeable on this subject. I plan on reading the manga. There's a lot of mangas that I want to read, but I gotta like save up for that and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much just my take on it. If you wanna correct me or tell me if you think that I made sense, or if you understand what I'm saying, or just tell me like if you want to explain to me better what I'm saying, or explain to me what like he really is, that would be cool. I invite you to. But yes, that's about it for me. I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. Bye. Give me 1 second. I'm making a video right now and I'll have it out in like a couple minutes, but just in case I don't get it out in time today, I'm upload this. Okay.